Stop scrolling right now because what I'm about to show you could mean hundreds, maybe even thousands of extra dollars in your pocket this year. The Social Security Administration just released their brand new payment chart, and honestly, the numbers caught even me off guard. Here's what nobody's talking about. Your payment amount isn't just going up because of the cost of living adjustment. There are three hidden factors buried in this chart that could dramatically change what you receive every single month, and most people have no idea they even exist. I'm talking about changes that affect everyone, whether you're already collecting benefits, planning to retire next year, or still have a decade to go. And here's the kicker. Depending on when you were born and how much you've earned, you might be leaving serious money on the table right now without even knowing it. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break down this chart line by line, show you exactly where your payment falls, and reveal the specific strategies that could maximize your benefits starting immediately. Some of you are going to see numbers that make you smile. Others might need to adjust your retirement plans. Either way, you need to see this. If you want to know exactly what you're entitled to and how to claim every penny you've earned, smash that like button right now. And let's dive into these numbers together. Alright, so let me show you what's actually on this chart because the first time I looked at it, I had to double-check the numbers. The Social Security Administration releases this information every single year, but this year's update is particularly important because we're seeing some of the biggest adjustments we've had in recent history. And I know what you're thinking. You've probably heard about the cost of living adjustment, the COLA, that everyone talks about. Yes, that's part of it, but that's not the whole story. And that's where people get confused and end up missing out on money they've actually earned. Let's start with the basics because I want to make sure everyone's on the same page here. Your Social Security payment is calculated based on your highest 35 years of earnings. The Social Security Administration takes your income from every year you worked, adjusts it for inflation, picks out the 35 years where you made the most money, and then runs that through a formula to determine your benefit amount. Now here's the thing that trips people up. If you haven't worked for 35 years, they're going to put zeros in for those missing years, and zeros bring down your average significantly. That's the first hidden factor I was talking about. A lot of people retire early thinking they've got enough work years under their belt, but if they're sitting at 30 years or 32 years, those missing years with zero income are dragging down their entire benefit calculation. But let's talk about what's new on this chart. The maximum benefit amount for someone retiring at full retirement age has gone up substantially. We're now looking at maximum monthly benefits that can exceed $3,000 for people who've consistently earned at or above the maximum taxable income throughout their careers. Now I know not everyone hits that maximum, but here's why this matters, even if you're not in that top bracket. The entire payment structure scales proportionally, which means if the top end goes up, the middle and lower brackets are adjusting too. This is money that reflects decades of work, and understanding where you fall on this spectrum is absolutely crucial for your retirement planning. The second hidden factor that nobody seems to be talking about is the earnings test, and this one catches so many people off guard. If you decide to claim Social Security before your full retirement age and you're still working, there's a limit to how much you can earn before Social Security starts reducing your benefits. And I'm not talking about a small reduction here. For every $2 you earn above that threshold, Social Security withholds $1 of your benefits. Think about that for a second. You worked your entire life paying into this system, and now if you claim early while still working, they're taking money back. The new chart shows these thresholds have been adjusted, and if you're planning to work part-time or do consulting work in your early retirement years, you need to know these numbers inside and out. I've talked to so many people who claimed at 62 thinking they were being smart, only to find out they're losing a significant chunk of their benefits because they picked up a part-time job to make ends meet. This is critical information that could change your entire claiming strategy. Now let's get into the timing piece because this is where the real money is made or lost. Your full retirement age isn't 65 anymore for most people watching this video. If you were born in 1960 or later, your full retirement age is 67. That's 2 full years later than what most people think of as retirement age. But here's where it gets interesting. You can claim as early as 62, but if you do, your benefits are permanently reduced. We're talking about a reduction of up to 30% if you claim 5 years before your full retirement age. That's not a temporary cut. That's for the rest of your life. On the flip side, if you delay claiming past your full retirement age, your benefits increase by 8% for every year you wait, up until age 70. So someone who waits from 67 to 70 is looking at a 24% increase in their monthly payment, and that increase also lasts for their entire lifetime. Let me put this in real numbers because I think that makes it clearer. Let's say your full retirement age benefit is $2,000 per month. If you claim at 62, you might only get about $1,400 per month. But if you wait until 70, that same benefit grows to about $2,480 per month. That's over $1,000 difference every single month, $12,000 per year, and if you live into your 80s or 90s, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of your retirement. This is the third hidden factor, the exponential impact of your claiming age on your lifetime benefits. The new chart makes these calculations crystal clear, and I'm seeing numbers that should make anyone thinking about claiming early really pause and run the math. But I want to be realistic here too, because I know not everyone has the luxury of waiting until 70. Some people need that income at 62 or 65, and that's completely understandable. Health issues, job loss, or caregiving responsibilities can all force your hand. What I'm saying is that you need to make this decision with full knowledge of what you're giving up or gaining. The Social Security Administration has calculators on their website, and I highly recommend you spend some time with them. Plug in your actual earnings history, play around with different claiming ages, and see how the numbers shake out for your specific situation. This isn't a one-size-fits-all decision, and the new chart gives you all the data you need to make the choice that's right for you. There's also something really important about spousal benefits that ties into this new chart, and this is an area where I see tremendous confusion. If you're married, divorced after at least 10 years of marriage, or widowed, you may be eligible for benefits based on your spouse's or ex-spouse's earnings record. The spousal benefit can be up to 50% of your spouse's full retirement age benefit, and the surviving spouse benefit can be up to 100%. These numbers have been adjusted in the new chart as well, and depending on your situation, you might actually be better off claiming a spousal benefit and letting your own benefit grow. This is called a claiming strategy, and it can add tens of thousands of dollars to your lifetime benefits if you do it right. I've seen couples where one person claims early to get some income flowing, while the other person delays to maximize their benefit, which then protects the surviving spouse later on. These strategies require careful planning, but the payoff can be absolutely massive. Now let's talk about what happens if you're already receiving benefits, because this new chart affects you too. The cost of living adjustment that was applied this year means your monthly payment has increased to keep pace with inflation. But here's what a lot of current beneficiaries don't realize. Medicare Part B premiums are typically deducted directly from your Social Security payment. When those premiums go up, which they often do, it can eat into your COLA increase. Sometimes people see a smaller bump in their actual deposited amount than they were expecting, and they think Social Security made a mistake. It's not a mistake. It's just that healthcare costs are rising and taking a bigger bite out of that check. The new chart shows the gross benefit amounts, but you need to think about your net amount after Medicare premiums to really understand what's hitting your bank account each month. I also want to address something that causes a lot of anxiety, and that's the question of whether Social Security will be there for younger workers. I get comments on every video asking if the system is going to run out of money. Here's the truth based on the latest projections. The Social Security Trust Fund is projected to be depleted in the early 2030s if Congress doesn't make any changes. But that doesn't mean benefits go to zero. Even if the trust fund runs dry, Social Security would still be able to pay about 75 to 80% of scheduled benefits from ongoing payroll taxes. Now that's obviously not ideal, and it would represent a significant cut, but it's not the catastrophic collapse that some people fear. More likely, Congress will step in before that happens with some combination of tax increases, benefit adjustments, or raising the retirement age further. I mention this because it affects how you should think about your claiming strategy. If you're currently in your 30s or 40s, you should absolutely plan for Social Security to be part of your retirement, but you shouldn't rely on it exclusively. Build your own retirement savings through 401k plans, IRAs, and other investments so that you have multiple income streams to fall back on. Another aspect of this new chart that deserves attention is how disability benefits are calculated and adjusted. Social Security Disability Insurance, or SSDI, uses a similar formula to retirement benefits, but with some key differences. If you become disabled before retirement age, your benefits are based on your earnings history up to that point, but you're not penalized for the years you couldn't work due to your disability. The new chart shows updated disability payment amounts, and for people dealing with serious health conditions that prevent them from working, these benefits can be a financial lifeline. What many people don't know is that if you're receiving disability benefits when you reach your full retirement age, those benefits automatically convert to retirement benefits at the same amount. You don't lose anything in that transition, and it's important to understand how that timeline works. One more thing I want to hit on before we wrap up is the taxation of Social Security benefits, because this catches a lot of people by surprise. Depending on your total income in retirement, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits can be subject to federal income tax. I know, you already paid taxes on that money when you earned it, and now they're taxing it again when you receive it. It doesn't seem fair, but it's the reality. The thresholds for taxation haven't been adjusted for inflation in decades, which means more and more people are finding their benefits subject to tax. If your combined income, which includes your adjusted gross income, tax-free interest, and half of your Social Security benefits, exceeds certain levels, you'll owe taxes on a portion of your benefits. For individuals, that threshold is as low as $25,000, and for couples filing jointly, it's $32,000. Once you understand this, you can plan your retirement withdrawals more strategically to minimize the tax hit on your Social Security. So where does this leave us? The new Social Security chart is packed with information that directly impacts your financial future. Whether you're years away from retirement, approaching that decision point, or already collecting benefits, these numbers matter. The three hidden factors I talked about, the impact of missing work years on your calculation, the earnings test if you claim early while still working, and the exponential effect of your claiming age on lifetime benefits, these are the pieces that can make or break your retirement security. Take the time to really dig into your specific situation. Pull up your Social Security statement online, look at your earnings history, check for any errors, and start running scenarios. Think about your health, your family longevity, your other retirement savings, and your expected expenses. This is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make, and it deserves serious attention. The new chart gives you all the tools you need to make an informed choice. Don't leave money on the table because you didn't take the time to understand how this system works. Your future self will thank you for the effort you put in today.